Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your kindness. We thank you for your graciousness to us. Lord, we thank you, Lord, that where there's more than one of us together, where there's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, Father, you're there in the very midst of us. And Lord, I thank you. You take your word today and you put your word into people's hearts, Lord, that you place the seed of the incorruptible word in the inside of them so that it is bringing forth a harvest, Father. We declare that we're not just passing time here, we're not just spending a few hours, Father, in your presence to leave here and not be changed. But we lay hold, Father, of your presence this morning. We lay hold of everything that you have in your word for us today. And we declare, Lord, that as it takes root in us, that it is producing a harvest that is going to see us changed and transformed for eternity. I thank you, Lord, that we're going to be a bit better after today. We're going to be a better us because we've spent time with you today in the name of Jesus. And we declare that your word, Father, is bringing forth life, it's bringing forth light, and it is turning circumstances around so that we're not going to walk through the same amount of darkness as we have up until now. So we declare light be to every situation. Light be, Father, in our homes, light be in our families, light be, Father, in our finances, in our health, Father, in our emotions, in every area, Father. We thank you for your love, and we thank you for your blessing in operation in us, in the precious, precious name of Jesus. And we thank you, Holy Ghost, that you're here with us now. In Jesus' name. Amen. And that's what this is about. This is not about me, it's not about Roy, it's not about whoever it is up at the front. And I believe yesterday you had an absolutely wonderful day with Rosie and Margaret, so we are so blessed. So blessed to hear what all of the wonderful men and women that we have speaking over this next few weeks have to say to us, because it's really exciting. Isn't it really exciting to know that there are people with giftings and talents and abilities that are able to minister to us? And it's not just about us two ugly mugglies. That is so exciting. No, I think you're an ugly muggy, Roy. But today, I know yesterday Rosie covered, why do summer Bible school, and Margaret talked about intimacy with God and humility with God and such. Well, today I'm going to talk about the stories of life. Has anybody ever had a storm to contend with? I know that was just getting married to me.
Just for the last 24 minutes.
Well, I know that there are so many songs written, like, let's face it, whenever you're growing up, you grew up with a song, may your anchor hold in the storms of life. So there was a reality that there is a storm that happens. And you know what? Not every storm is a pleasant experience. Have you ever thought about, whenever the weatherman gets up and he does the weather, and it's like up here on the screen there's this big map of Ireland that said, and in the northwest it's going to be sunny from this time until this time of the day, and then the rain clouds are going to come across, and as the rain clouds come across, expect some thunder and lightning to come in that area. Now also from the sea at the bottom, because I don't know what you call it, it's going to come, the wind's going to come up and it's going to swirl around, and you're going to feel the effects of that. And there's sunshine over here and a little cloud over here and a little. Has anybody ever watched it and you've thought, no, we're in Northern Ireland, it's just going to be warm rain or cold rain or some type of rain. However, we don't actually have a weather map of our life. And sometimes whenever we know that it says on the natural weather map that it's going to be raining, you think, okay, I better pack my umbrella, I better get my... Has anybody ever had one of those things? One of those wee bands that sits in your head that the umbrella's on top of. I know Marjorie used to have like a scarf type thing, didn't you, Marjorie? Like a weather mat type thing that you wrapped around. Do you know, it's like if we know that the weather is going to be a certain way, then we can prepare for that. If where Ashton comes from, he comes from Tulsa, and in Tulsa there are tornado warnings. Well, whenever the siren goes off, people know that they're meant to get to a safe place. They're meant to go down to a basement, they're meant to go to a prepared place. They're not meant to chase tornadoes and go out in the car and see what they can find. That is not what they're meant to do. They're meant to go to a safe place. you know that hurricane's coming, you shut the shutters, you board up the windows, and you do all of that. If anybody's ever watched a movie, you know about all of that. I have, and I've got a good imagination, so I can like see it all. Come on, Roy, we need to do this. We're going to save the planet. However, for your own personal life, sometimes you do not actually have a weather map. And sometimes there are things ahead that you can see on the horizon that are coming. You can see it's going to start to rain in the spirit, in my family, in a natural situation. You can maybe see if one of your children is not as passionate about God as what they used to be. You can see that on the horizon. You know, do you know what? They're making trouble ahead. If you don't do something about that. And there are certain things that you can see ahead of time that you can begin to take changes and begin to turn the situation around ahead of time. There are also situations that you don't even see them come in your direction. And it's like this tornado or this hurricane has just come and it has just swept you off your feet. Where the weather conditions in your family, or the storm conditions in your family, or in your finances, or in your health, or in your emotions, just seem to have totally imploded. And everything has fallen apart. Hi, Susan. Well, within all of these different stages, sure, you can get up and preach next. You can do the Slovakian service. It's after Roy. But you know, in the midst of all of those situations, God gives us some instruction and God gives us some wisdom. And I think the thing that we need to remember is God knows that there are storms. Sometimes as born-again believers, we spend so much time in condemnation because a storm has come our direction that we think we're not good enough as a Christian. Just because a storm came. Do you think you started the storm? Do you think you caused the storm? Listen, we can cause a storm in our own life. Let's face it, if I go off and I sleep with 10 different people, and some of them have syphilis, some of them have this, some of them have that, and then I'm coming back to my own husband, and I get sick, and I create a storm in my own, that's because I have done something silly. Do you understand? And let's take, some of us do stuff silly. I've done stuff silly. I haven't done that, but I've done stuff silly. But do you know, I've done stuff silly. I haven't always done everything perfect. Has anybody in here done everything perfect? No way. Do you mean we all have done something silly? Yes. All of us. Every one of us. So every one of us has done something silly. But there are storms that we do not create. There are things that just happen, and they just happen because we live in a world that, in essence, the curse is in operation. Now, we are not cursed. We are blessed because we are born again. We're full of the Spirit of God. However, we live in an environment where it is hostile to us as born again believers. Because everything in the world wants to distract us. I wrote down something that Roy had said I don't know where I wrote it down right now. Yes, he said a few weeks ago that at the minute we are living in an age of mass distraction. And if we give our attention to this mass distraction, then it will lead to mass destruction. You see, there are so many things that want to take our attention these days. There's the media, what the media says, there's what the woman down the street says, there's what the psychiatrist says, there's what the great guru in this area says and that area says, and everything wants to take our attention. And so often whenever something is going on, we go to this great guru of this area because they're going to fix everything. But yet the orchestrator and the creator of the universe is interested in us, and he is interested in the fact that we're going through a storm and he wants to get us out of it. Now, that all said, something I wrote down this morning whenever I spent time with the Lord was, the storm comes and God's aware of the storm. However, sometimes we think that the storm disqualifies us, but it doesn't. Has anybody ever had one of your family members get divorced? Has anybody ever had one of your children walk away from God? Has anybody ever had one of your daughters get pregnant before she was married? Has anybody ever had one of your, somebody abused, somebody this, somebody that? We've all had stuff. We've all had stuff. But did that disqualify you? No. And what the enemy wants to do is he wants to come along, he wants to say, you are, you've been disqualified. Because if you were really, really a good Christian, if you were really, really saved, your family would all be sitting pretty. If you were really, really saved, sickness wouldn't even get into your home. If you were really, really saved, you would be wealthy and you would be whole and you would never have an emotional moment in your life. Well, seriously, I must be really, really, really not saved. Because sometimes I'd be like, Like, seriously, sometimes Royce thought, who is this woman I am living with? Is she happy? Oh no, that's sad crying. Oh, that's happy crying. What is going on? And I too have wondered, who is this woman that he is living with? What constitutes a storm in your life? So, like we've said, maybe one of your children is abused. Maybe one of your children, like I say, gets pregnant. Maybe you're going through financial difficulty. Maybe a business that you started has failed. Maybe your body isn't functioning the way it needs to function. All types of things can constitute a storm in your life. But in the midst of a storm, God gives us ability to keep going. Amen. And he gives us ability to weatherproof ourselves from a storm. You see, the storm can go on around us, but the storm should not go on in us. The story of Noah. You know, there's so much out there in the world that talks about, even in the area of health education and in the public health sector, and what their principle is, prevention is better than cure. And prevention, I do believe, is much better than cure in whatever situation. So if there are those areas that you see a storm coming up ahead, and there is something that you can do to avert that by the Word of God, by spending more time in the presence of God, by being more diligent in some areas, because some storms can be averted just by a little bit more consistency. Just by a little bit more digging down and saying, no, it's not going to go that way, it's going to go this way, and I am going to put all into that I need to put into that to see that situation turn around and change. And that will work in very many situations when you see it afar off. But whenever you see it here, it's like, ah! But Noah, well, he's seen a situation very afar off. In fact, he's seen it 100 years afar off, and we can't even begin to comprehend what that looks like. Sure we can't. But God told him what to do in a situation. Now, Noah listened to God. And I know that there have been times in my life where God has given me an instruction and I haven't really listened at that time. I haven't listened with the comprehension of, God, I must put this into practice, because if I don't put this into practice, there is a consequence. So we heard the positive side of that a lot of weeks ago whenever we heard Harvey's testimony, how God had given him the instruction a few months ago at the beginning of the year to begin doubling his amount of time that he was spending with God. And as he done that, he was putting more and more and more into him. And then whenever that pulmonary embolism came and he died 5 or 6 times, the word of God was in him in such a level because he had adhered to what God had told him to do. However, excuse me, if he had not adhered to what God had told him to do, you do not know what the outcome would be. Because there is a consequence to obedience. And he therefore had within him what was required to sustain him in that situation. Again, that is not a slap if you haven't done that. Because you know what, this is something that is really, really important. It is really important for us to be open and honest with God. You know, sometimes with each other we can be a wee bit, oh yes, I've done that. Susan, have you spent this time? Oh yes, yes. Because you're concerned what I will think of you. You're concerned, Marjorie's concerned what Lorraine will think of her. Lorraine's concerned what Robin's going to think of her. Heather's concerned with what Roy's going to think. If we truly are open and honest about what it's really like. But with God, we need to actually say, God, this is actually what this is where I'm really at. This is genuinely where I'm at. And your word, anytime I look at it, it is sifting me now. And now I'm before you and I'm open and I am honest with you. And because I'm going to be open and honest with you, you can work in me from a genuine viewpoint. It's like funny, Mum and I were just talking the other day and we're just saying sometimes we just need fixed. You know, there's been times in my life where I've just wanted to control so many things. I've wanted to control Roy, I've wanted to control the children, I've wanted to control the church, I want to control the people, I want to control you. I want to control, can I control? But it was actually because I felt insecure in my releasing and letting go. But I've had to ask God, God, fix me. Fix me from the inside out. Just fix me. Just help me build blocks to the inside of me that are going to equip me for the duration of this walk, for the duration of this call. Just fix me. Fix those sore parts. Fix those hurt parts. Fix those weird parts. And keep the quirky parts. Sometimes we just need fixed. And you know what? It's okay to need fixed. Too often we have felt like to need fixed means we're lesser than everybody else. We're not. Because you know what? Those other people need fixed also. It's just they maybe don't want to be real about where they are. So when you come before God, don't come before God pretending that you are what you're not. Yes, there is there's stuff in the Word that declares who we are, and I'm not talking about saying every time you come to God, I'm a worm, God, I'm a worm. That is not what I am saying. But it's coming to God and saying, God, I know your Word says this. Within me, everything is struggling to attain this. Now fix those parts that need fixed. It's a bit like how the man came to Jesus and he said, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. And sometimes we need to just open wide and say, God, just come in completely. Love me completely, and I will be loved by you completely. You know, Noah built that ark, and what he done was he prepared before the storm came. And very often we can do that in our own lives. I have noticed through my life at different times, whenever certain things are coming along. So, I always noticed whenever one person came to visit how it always created in me, and I cried for days. It was ridiculous. But then what I learned was, oh, this is what happens whenever this is the situation. So before this happens, now I need to put more of God into me. And for us women, I don't know, but those hormonal times, and you men really do understand because you have to put up with the women at those hormonal times, but at different times during the monthly cycle and all of those different times, or if you're going through hot flushes, or whatever it is that you're dealing with at this time, do you know what, even within that, you need to know there are certain things I need to do because I am not going to allow myself to make excuses for my behaviour because of PMS, PMT, because of, do you know what I mean, my hot flush, because my estrogen levels down, because my progesterone levels up, because my this, because of that, because all of that wants to tell you how you're meant to behave. All of that wants to tell you that this is a storm that you can't control, but actually with God we can control an awful lot of stuff. You see, in the good time, it's very easy for us to sit back and not push into God. But it's in the good time that we're meant to be coming boldly before His throne of grace. You see, what the enemy wants to do is he wants to keep Susan in the outer court. He wants to keep Roy in the outer court and Roberta in the outer court, where we know God from a head knowledge. Because let's face it, we all know God from a head knowledge, don't we? And then he wants us to know God through somebody else's experience. Because we've all heard what God has done for other people. We've all heard how God is so wonderful to other people. We've all heard Pastor Roy, oh, God just does such fabulous things for him. Dr. Harvey, oh, God does such fabulous things for him. Oh, they really have experienced God. However, what God wants us to do is He wants us to come on in through into the Holy of All, where we experience God, where it tells us in Ephesians 3, where we understand the height and the depth and the breadth of His love, where we experience that. Because if we only go by someone else's experience, then whenever a storm comes or whenever something difficult happens, we are knocked off like that because we do not have the root in us, because we don't truly understand how loved we are. We don't truly understand who we are in Christ. We don't truly understand that He loves nothing more than to spend time with me. With me. You see, I had so much of the time knowing what it was like for such and such a person and such a person, and that is so good for them, that they are experiencing all that lovey-doveyness of God, but God actually wants to bestow that lovey-doveyness on me. Amen. On me. When He sent me here in 1971, the earth knew about it. But you know, I spent so much of my life just trying to pursue God and trying to, oh God, if you would just, oh, if I could be good enough for you, God, if I could do this for you, God, if I could do that for you, God. But God just wants us to just be, and He just wants us to come into His presence and to sit at His feet and to say, God, I love you. Just teach me everything, fix every part in me. I just pour out my love on you, Lord. I just pour out everything, every sore part. I pour out all of me until I'm empty, and I want you to totally fill me with every part of who you are. Every part of who you are. All of it. Because as we do that, all of those parts are going to be so saturated with His love. And as we receive that love for me, I mean, you know, whenever I come into a service, I have to come into a service for me. It's very easy to assume a prideful position. It's very easy to come into church or come into a Bible school or come into everything and, oh, this is going to be very good for Roberta. Roberta's been dealing with that. It's really bad. We'll all just go so Roberta gets sorted out. But that's very easy. I know none of the rest of you have ever felt that way. Susan has never come to church and thought, oh God, today you're going to sort Peter out because I don't need anything but Peter's going to get sorted. Robin's never come in and said, Ryan's going to get sorted today because I've got it all together. But it is really easy for us to come in with this sort of, oh, we're in church now. Hold on, I put on my church face. Well, I go to church, I've got my makeup nice, I've got my hair sitting okay, everything's perfect. I go walk into church, I'm going to tilt my arms at this degree, I'm going to dance this way, and everybody's just going to think everything's totally together. And whenever I say, glory to God, everybody's going to say glory to God, and there's going to be this big wave of revival sweep across the room. But actually, when I come into church, I need to come into church and say, God, you know what, today I come before you, and it's just you and me. The rest of the people, glory to God that the rest of the people are here. I'm so glad that they're here. But today I'm coming in, and I'm not ashamed before you today, Father. I'm just going to open up wide my heart. I'm just going to embrace all of who you are as you embrace all of who I am. I'm going to allow you to give me that divine exchange one more time where all of my is deposited to you and all of your glory is bestowed upon me. And I'm coming today and I'm just loving you. And I'm going to be loved by you today. And I'm not going to play. I'm not going to do it. Because I don't know what it is about society, but we want to be conformed into something. And the whole time God's saying, let me transform you. Let me transform you. Let me transform you like the way the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, and all in that cocoon, he becomes a butterfly. And it is a cocooning experience. But sometimes we don't want to even be cocooned by God. So ahead of time, Noah saw the storm coming and he built into him. And that's like us in the good times coming past the gates of praise. On in to the secret place. You know, I listened to a song for a long time there over the last few months. And it said, it said, I will stay here for a little while until I look like the one I behold. And it's funny because sometimes in the process of looking like the one we behold, sometimes we want to look like Jesus, but we're too busy to do that. Or sometimes in the quietness of that, we're faced with too much for ourselves and would rather be busy. God wants us to be intimate with Him. God doesn't just want us to, please don't anybody be embarrassed by this. God doesn't just want us like in a husband and wife relationship where we come to the position where we just come to satisfy our husband's needs and then we're done. But where we allow God to enjoy us. Where we allow God to enjoy us. Where it's not about a mission, or it's not about an agenda, or it's not about accomplishing something, but where we just allow God to enjoy us being in His presence. Where we're not in a hurry, where we're not rushing to do something for Him, but where we just spend time with Him. And that for me can be one of the most difficult things because my head is I need to, 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 I need to. But you know what, all that need to will be sort of like so much more effective if we just spend time in that secret place. And then as we spend time in that secret place, it tells us in John 17 that when the Holy Ghost has come, that what he wants to do is he wants to come and he wants to declare to us, and he wants to disclose to us, and he wants to transmit to us the things that are to come. He wants to tell us of the future, and he wants to empower us and equip us for everything that's up ahead. You see, God wants us to know about tomorrow. But sometimes what we do is we want to go in tomorrow without knowing about what God says about it. But God knows about tomorrow, and if we just spend enough time with him, he's going to actually equip us for tomorrow ahead of time, and it's going to be so much easier for us. Doesn't the word tell us that the wise man built his house upon the rock, but the foolish man built his house upon the sand? And whenever the wise man built his house upon the rock, it meant that whenever a storm came, that his house didn't fall. He did not fall apart. Now listen, somewhere along the line, we've all fallen apart a wee bit. But you know what, we got it back together again. But what this will do, if we can remember and we can begin to implement what we're talking about, is this will enable us not to fall apart again. But this will enable that whenever a storm comes, that because we know in him who we have believed in, up close and personal and intimately, then as we walk into that storm, we will know him and we'll have peace in the midst of that. And that is possible. You see, the word tells us that you're in the world, but you're not of the world. Whenever Jesus went, Jesus said that he was going to leave his peace with us. He was giving us all of his joy. He was giving us all of this. So there is a place that we can walk through with kind of a barrier around us. That this stuff is going on, that we can see it, we don't ignore it, we deal with it, but it doesn't get into us. You see, there were times in the Bible where Jesus told his disciples, okay, this is what I want you to do. So, let's see, another one of those situations. In Mark 6, for example, Mark 6, verse 45. Now what has happened here is Jesus has just been out in the wilderness, and there has been no food for the people that have been out in the wilderness. And Jesus has just made provision for all of the people that are out in the wilderness, and they have just eaten. And it says, and those yet loaves were 5,000 men. And as soon as this miracle had taken place, what had actually happened was, in verse 45, and at once Jesus insisted that the disciples get into a boat and go ahead of him to the other side, to Bethesda, while he was sent in the throne away. And after he had taken leave of them, he went off to the hills to pray. Now, when the evening had come, the boat was out in the middle of the lake. Where was the boat? In the middle of the lake. And he was by himself on the land. And having seen that they were troubled and tormented in their rowing, for the wind was against them about the fourth watch of the night, between 3 and 6 a.m. Has anybody ever felt like you've been struggling against the wind in the midst of the night between 3 and 6 a.m.? Yes. Has anybody ever felt like, oh, they've managed to get to sleep, and then they've been up. So Mark 6, verse 45. And they've got to sleep, but then in around that 3, 4 o'clock time, I just can't sleep. I'm just walking up and down the floors. Oh, my children, my children, my children. Oh, my husband. Oh, my body. Oh, my this, my that, my the other thing. But you understand, this is really what was going on with the disciples. They were in the middle of the lake. The wind was against them. And this was at 3 until 6 a.m. in the morning. And he came to them walking directly on the sea, and acted as if he meant to pass them by. But when they saw him walking on the sea, they thought it was a ghost, and raised a deep, throaty shriek of terror. For they all saw him and were agitated, troubled, and filled with fear and dread. But immediately he talked with them and said, "Take heart, I am. Stop being alarmed and afraid." And he went up into the boat with them, and the wind ceased. It sank to rest as if it was exhausted by its own beating. And they were astonished exceedingly beyond measure. For they had failed to consider or understand the teaching and meaning of the miracle of the loaves. In fact, their hearts had grown callous and had become dull and had lost power of understanding. And then they crossed on over to the land of the Gennesaret and came to anchor at the shore, and as soon as they got out of the boat, the people began to recognize them, and they started carrying the sick towards them, and the sick were healed. But there they were in the middle of the night, between 3 and 6, and they were striving and they were struggling, and Jesus came to them, and they hardly even recognized them because they become dull and callous to hear what God had already done just before they'd left. You see, they'd already watched God perform a miracle. They'd already seen what God had done in their lives before. They had already observed God's work at their own hand. And yet here they were in another situation, but now they were distressed and they were struggling because, God, how could you let this happen? Here we are, we're in the middle of the ocean, or we're in the middle of the lake, and we hardly know how we're going to get to the other side, and there's this figure walking along, and we didn't even recognize it was you because we hardly know you so much as what we used to, God, and we just need something. And then Jesus came into the very midst of it, and he said, "Cease to the wind," and it stopped. Has anybody ever had God really, really do something in their life, and then within no length of time there'd be another storm rise up, and you're like, God's not going to do anything for me. I don't know how to get out of this situation. I'm going to strut up and down between 3 and 6 in the morning. I'm going to fuss about it. I'm going to be in fear about it. I'm going to struggle about it. I'm going to be anxious about it. And the whole time God is saying, let me in your boat. Let me cease and stop this storm for you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. He said, don't be afraid. Stop fussing. You fussy wussies. So if you ever find yourself up between 3 and 6 in the morning, stressing and fussing because the wind is opposed to you, you remember what Jesus said. Stop being afraid. And as we spend more time in that secret place like we talked about, less of that fear will be able to come upon us. If we go on to look in Matthew 14, verse 22. This amazed me actually this morning whenever I actually asked Phil to read it out to me. I was like, what? Really? So I've read this, I have taught it, I've done all of that, but this morning when I was reading it, I was like, oh my goodness, it's really 14, verse 22 says, "Then he directed the disciples to get into the boat and go before him to the other side, while he sent away the crowds." So this sounds like exactly the same experience written from a different author. "And after he had dismissed the multitudes, he went up into the hills by himself to pray. When it was evening, he was still there alone. But the boat was by this time out on the sea, many furlongs. A furlong is 1/8 of a mile, distance from the land, beaten and tossed by the waves." Now remember, we're talking about the storms of life. This boat was beaten and tossed by the waves, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch, between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. of the night, Jesus came to them walking in the sea. And the disciples saw him walking in the sea, and they were terrified, and they said, "It is a ghost," and they screamed out with fear, or with fright. But instantly he spoke to them, saying, "Take courage, I am, stop being afraid." And Peter answered him, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." And Jesus said, "Come." So Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water, and he came towards Jesus. But when he perceived and felt the strong wind, he was frightened, and as he began to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me from death." And Jesus instantly reached down and grabbed him. So this is really funny if you think about it. So this storm is being tossed, and it is being the water's trying to get into the boat, and they're trying to row the boat, and the boat's not doing what it wants to, what they want it to do. And then Jesus comes walking along, and they're like, "Who is that walking along?" He says, "It's okay, I am." They stop being afraid. So all of a sudden, he has told them not to be afraid. Fear has dissipated, and then Peter said, "God, Jesus, if it's you, bid me to come." And he says, "Come." So Peter stood up in the boat. He stepped out onto the water. Now listen, who has ever tried to walk on water? Me too. Did it work? No, because in the natural your foot goes through the water, because your foot is heavier than the water. So Jesus told Peter to come, and Peter stepped out on the water. And he started walking towards Jesus. And then the storm got his attention. Now hold on. You see, I always thought, and I don't know why I always thought it, I obviously didn't read it diligently enough, but there was already a storm. The storm was already going on. But what happened was Peter locked eyes with Jesus.
That's good.
In the middle of a storm. And when he locked eyes with Jesus, and he said, "Jesus, tell me what to do in this situation. Do you want to tell me to come? Because if you tell me to come, I'm going to get out of this boat and I'm going to walk to you." So what Peter actually done was he locked eyes with Jesus in the midst of a storm. He got the word from God to stand upon, and he began to get out of the boat and to stand upon that word. And all of a sudden, instead of keeping his eyes on the word come, instead of keeping his eyes on Jesus, all of a sudden he started to look at the storm that hadn't just erupted, but had been going on the whole time. That is amazing.
That's good.
That is amazing. So the wind was already blowing. He had already got out of that situation and focused on Jesus. So actually, he had created nearly like a tunnel for himself. Do you understand what I mean? A protective zone for himself, where he became unaware of the natural limitations. Jesus said, "Come," and he began to come. But all of a sudden, rather than doing what I'm doing in Robin, come up here, Robin. I just thought you'd be a better Jesus than the bush. Just saying, a bit more alive. Okay, so Peter said, "Lord, if it's you, bid me come." come. Oh, we're really good Jesus, Robin. So, come. And he steps out on it. And he looks at Jesus. Now, the wind's going on out here. It's going on. Woo, splash, splash. All he hears is, come. And I'm watching, and all of a sudden he hears, and he's like, he understood, like, Robin, that was really good, Jesus. You should have got me quicker. But there was already the storm. I don't know about you, but sometimes I have been in a situation where the storm has been raging around me, and I have heard what God has said to me. You see, in that situation, if we push into God, He will tell us what to do.
Yes.
He will, if we lock eyes with Him. Because the Word tells us, I've just written down my notes because you know me, I can go a wee bit off on one. In Hebrews 12 verse 2, it tells us, looking away to Jesus. Who are we meant to look away to? The storm, to the fear, to the situation, to the brokenness, to the disgustingness, to the marriage problem, to the children not doing what they're meant to do, to us not having enough money. No, that's not what we're meant to do. That's the noise. And it's in the midst of the noise, in the midst of the storm, we're meant to look to Jesus, lock eyes with Him, because He's the author and He's the finisher of our faith. And if Peter had kept his eyes locked on Jesus and remained to only hear the word come, he would not have sunk. Now, I'm not here. Bless Peter. Peter done what none of us have ever done in the natural sense, because not one of us has ever walked on the water. But if he had only really comprehended the magnitude of the fact that he was actually standing on the water, but rather than looking at the fact that he was standing on the water, upon the word come that Jesus had said, which was naturally impossible, then the wind around him wouldn't have got his attention again. Because it doesn't, there's come on!
That's good.
We can actually step out on a word that God gives us that surpasses the natural, that defies the laws of nature, that defies everything that is around us. And why do we stay locked into Him and hooked up to Him and resting on that word that He has given us? Then the storm doesn't need to encapsulate us. It doesn't need to dictate to us. But what we usually do is this person comes along and they say this. Oh, I've done that. That's what I'm saying. What we usually do. But that's why in the good time we need to spend more time being fixed, more time being loved, more time being enveloped, so that whenever something comes, it's so easy for us to keep our eyes locked on the one who loves us. And the other things, although they want to shout, they won't actually penetrate like that channel of peace. So many things, and I hardly know which part to go to. You know, King David said in Psalm 51 verse 12, God, restore unto me the joy of my salvation. The reason he said restore unto me was because it had been taken from him. And this morning, I'm just asking you, ask God, restore unto me that joy. Help me, God, step into that place with you, where I am so enveloped in you but this other stuff doesn't matter. You know, whenever something happens, Isaiah 43, verse 2 in the New Living, I printed it on the phone. I can't work it right. And I thought I printed them up to be right on screens. But in the New Living, there's a bit of a little, that's the question. Says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. And when you walk through the fire, you will not be burnt. The flames will not set you ablaze. But it's when you live in sorrow. When you go through deep waters, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burnt up. The flames will not consume you. And if you go through difficulty, those waters are not going to drown you.
Isaiah what?
Isaiah 43, verse 2. And that was in the New Living. So whenever there's a storm going on, let's look away to Jesus. Find out what his promise says about your situation. Knowing that in 2 Corinthians 4 verse 18, that everything that you see is fleeting, it's momentary, and it's passing away, but everything of God remains forever. So things that you see are subject to change. No, does your situation line up with what God's promise says? If it doesn't line up with what God's promise says, it has to turn around. And what were the prophetic words that were given to you? If you have received a prophetic word that you're going to go to the nations of the earth, and then a diagnosis comes to you of your life is going to be cut short, you can wage a warfare with the prophetic word that says, no, I am going to the nations of the world. You see, whenever a prophetic word comes to you, it doesn't come to you so it will tickle your ears. It comes to you so that you have something to fight with. You see, sometimes people get really excited whenever they get a prophetic word. I always really get excited when I get a prophetic word. Because sometimes when you get a prophetic word, it means that just around the corner, there's going to be something that's going to cause you to have to fight to hold on to that word that was spoken over you. You know, I just want to read a couple of scriptures, just that actually that Mum had given me whenever I had dealt with a situation. I just want you to hear it for your situation. Knowing that God is with you, that God is for you. And then I'm just going to put on a song before we just pull over for a break, okay? Lord, in this situation, so close your eyes and just be ministered to. This is from Psalm 121. Lord, in this situation, I, your child, will lift up my eyes to the hills around Jerusalem, from whence shall come my help. I declare this day and every day that my help comes from you, Lord, who made heaven and earth. For you will not allow my foot to slip or to be moved. He who keeps me will not slumber, because he who keeps me will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is my keeper. The Lord is my shade on my right hand. This side, not carrying a shield. The Lord, you are working on my behalf, causing me to be acquitted of all wrongdoing. Isaiah 25, verse 4 and 5. Lord, you have been a stronghold for the poor, a stronghold for the needy in their distress, a shelter from the storm and a shade from the heat of circumstances. When the blast of the ruthless one is like a rainstorm against the wall of my life, as the heat in a dry land is reduced by the shadow of a cloud, so you shall bring down the noise of enemies, and as the heat is brought low by the shadow of a cloud, so the words of the accusing ruthless one is brought low. The sun shall not smite me by day, so I am okay, and every day, nor the moon by night, so I will sleep just fine every night. The Lord will keep me from all evil. He will keep my life. The Lord will keep my going out and my coming in from this time forth and forevermore. The Lord gives skillful and godly wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He hides away sound and godly wisdom and stores it for the righteous, those who are upright and in right standing with him. He is a shield to those who walk uprightly and integrity, that he may guard the paths of justice. Yes, he preserves the way of his saints. Discretion shall watch over me. Understanding shall keep me, to deliver me from the way of evil, and the evil men, for men who speak perverse things and are liars, for men who forsake the paths of uprightness, to walk in the ways of darkness. For though the mountains should depart, and the hills be shaken or removed, yet my love and kindness shall not depart from you, my child, nor shall my covenant of peace and completeness be removed from you, says the Lord, who has compassion on you, and all your children shall be disciples taught by the Lord, and obedient to his will, and great shall be their peace and undisturbed composure. You shall establish yourself in righteousness and rightness and conformity with God's will and order, and you shall be far from even the thought of oppression or destruction. For you shall not fear, and from terror, for it shall not come near you. Behold, they shall gather together and stir up strife, but it is not from me, says the Lord. Whoever stirs up strife against you shall fall and surrender to you. Behold, I created the smith, who blows in the fire of coals and who produces a weapon for its purpose. And I have created the devastator to destroy. But no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. And every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment, you shall show to be in the wrong. This peace, righteousness, security, and triumph over opposition is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, those in whom the ideal servant of the Lord is reproduced. This is the righteousness or the vindication which they obtain from me. This is that which I impart to them as their justification, says the Lord. I'm going to save it over in this wee song. And then I'm really good at this, you know. Technology would be my thing. Here. So through every situation, we keep our eyes on Him. It can be well with us. And I apologize because I'm the person that said, don't go over your time. And I did. So we'll have a wee cuppa and